fresh off of the Washington Commanders getting absolutely embarrassed by the Minnesota Vikings. Heads continue to turn, narratives continue to get pushed. Dan Quinn apparently is on the hot seat, according to some fans. Let's talk about whether Dan Quinn should be fired or not, and the updated availability of Jayden Daniels, and so much more coming here on the Burgundy Breakdown. Let's get it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another Burgundy Breakdown episode. It's your man Juan Gotti, and with me is John holding it down the middle, and Z representing one half of Reedie and Z. Fellas, how we doing tonight?
Another Misery Wednesday. Another one.
No.
DJ Khaled.
Another week in Commanders country right now. 8 straight.
Man, people are losing their mind. They're
10
losing
losses.
Man. It's crazy. I mean, look, I can't sit up here and say we didn't expect this year. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think people are just prisoners of the moment. And are they wrong? No, we're human. Right? Of course, you're going to react to what you're seeing currently. And then maybe 6 months from now, you say, look, I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? We good. So I'll just go straight into it, fellas. Phillip Rivers is back. That's not what I was about to talk about, but I'm like, I gotta just say,
gotta talk about it.
Rivers
back, 44 years old. It's just like, wow. I really hope he does good, but I feel like this is like
won't.
A 2-week rental, bro.
He won't though. Because here's the funniest thing about this. His oldest kid, which I think is his first daughter, is as old as Riley Leonard is right now.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with a buddy earlier, and he was like, man, homeboy got sick of being home with all them kids. You know he got a rack of kids.
Man, he got that whole team.
He was like, shit, I got to get back to work. How many years he been out the league? What, like 3 or 4?
5.
Yeah, like, damn. Like even when I saw the whole possibility, like, all right, they talking about working them out and all this, and I'm like, Phillip Rivers?
Yeah.
Desperate.
They're desperate, but it's like who else? So it's like, hey, why not? Why not go back to a former Hall or would have been a Hall of Famer, you know? But as soon as he takes a snap on Sunday, that'll get reset like what 7 years or so. So
push back, yeah.
But that's crazy. I'm gonna be tuning for that. I almost don't care about. I mean, I don't care about our game. If I'm being honest, especially if we find a way to win. I'm full John mode now. Now that we got a possibility of getting no more pick, I hope the Giants absolutely destroys us. But before we even get to that, let's address the elephant in the room, fellas. Fans are losing their mind, and fans are calling for Dan Quinn's job. John, I'll start with you. Your overall reaction to some people in this fan base wanting Dan Quinn fired.
Calm it down, relax, put the gun back in the holster, turn off the gas. We get it. It's a little warm in Washington because it's cold in Virginia. But however, you can't write the amount of injuries we've had. From week 1 to week 2 to week 3 to week 5 to week 7 to week 9 to week 14. We've had at least 2 injuries a week. You can't write your starting quarterback, 3 edge, running back, 5 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 corners, and a safety, all getting injured in a season. You also can't write your backup quarterback having to play half the season. Yes, the Bengals did it, but we have more injuries than the Bengals. Yes, as aforementioned Colts are going through that, but they don't have the injuries we do. You can't write it. Is Kliff or Joe Witt on the hot seat? Yes. Is Dan? I think it's a little too early to tell. I think if we have a subpar season next season, there's more fuel to the flame. But I think overall right now, you can't necessarily blame Dan because everything he wants to do is getting killed on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Philip Rivers. I cannot wait to see that. Oh man, Z, talk to me. Fans are losing their mind, calling for Dan Quinn's job. Want to see? I even had people say clean house, and I don't think people really understand what they mean by clean house. Or do they understand the term of cleaning house? So it's a difference between firing a coach, but cleaning house. So that means no DQZ, no Adam Peters, and no Jayden Daniels. Z, and it doesn't make it no more easier for these fans that want to believe that because we're getting the first overall pick. So what are you telling me? Draft Indiana's quarterback? Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
All right. Go ahead,
Exactly.
Z.
All right, so I mean, I wondered the other day when I saw it after the game. I saw a little Riggles Rag put up a post. The coaches on the hot seat had a list of coaches, and I'm like, let me scroll through here and see if I see Dan Quinn, and boom, I see Dan Quinn. So that intrigued me, and I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be a trending conversation. Put the odds in it. It's something like 50K views, people going crazy, comments going crazy, and it's a lot of mixture of comments in there, and I'm like completely shocked to see how many people are saying fire him. I don't agree that Dan Quinn should be fired. Especially coming off the year that he had last year, 12 wins. He rebuilding the culture, everything, getting things, moving in the right direction. This year, I don't necessarily blame this year on Dan Quinn in the sense of personnel, because it's like, okay, AP is the guy. Yes, Dan has insight and whatnot, but AP makes the deals, he makes the decisions. I feel like more could have been done on his end there. Then when we get to the fact of now you're talking about the X's and O's and the team and whatnot, there's some blame that you can put on Dan Quinn. You know what I mean? One, how do we wait so long to demote Joe Witt? You know what I mean? The handling of not, putting Terry on IR, not putting Jayden on IR, or Noah Brown, who missed so many fucking games, should have been on IR twice, as you know what I mean, in a sense. So it's like it's like a big question mark around Dan. Also offensively, you know what I mean? All right, now you done made your move, what you done with Joe Witt. It's like, okay, like I guess in a sense you're not gonna make any changes on the offense. You're not gonna fire Kliff mid-season. You're not gonna do none of that shit. So I'm not necessarily expecting that. I'm just more so hoping that he's in Kliff's ear, letting him know how poor he's done this year. You know what I mean, in a sense. But to talk about to say that he deserves to be fired, it's blasphemy. And now if we rolled into next year and the same type of shit was happening, then that's a real conversation and that's a real thing. But I say today in this moment, no, Dan Quinn should not be fired. Should be definitely given an opportunity. And not even on a hot seat. You know what I mean? Just give him the opportunity to regroup and fix this mess. But also, he does need some type of pressure on him about making changes and decisions a lot quicker, getting his emotions out of it. Because you know what I mean, he's a great dude. Everybody talks about how loving, and everybody loves Dan Quinn and all these things, and that's cool and all. But bro, you got to make faster decisions and quicker, because time is ticking. Now we blinked, and now we're talking about year 3 of Jayden Daniels being the quarterback. At a wasted year 2. You know what I mean? Year 1 is just like, damn, it just happened. So it's a tough situation, but I think it can be fixed. Hopefully it can be fixed with this regime. But Dan Quinn definitely is going to have to make some real decisions. And I think one, it starts with deciding if he's going to lead this defense and get somebody new, and what goes on with Kliff.
I feel like that your last point was really, really good. But before I even respond back to that, at least from Pittsburgh, hopefully I said your name right, asked about Mike Tomlin. And I only read it because I have a very itchy topic about Mike. He should have been fired years ago. And this is no disrespect to Mike Tomlin. This is no. I understand. First of all, he's a brother. That's great. But football wise, they're never going to get over the hump if they don't fire him. Why I say that? Because they're never going to be in a position to draft a top quarterback because they're never going to suck. They're never going to suck bad enough to draft a top quarterback, but they're never going to be good enough because they don't have a quarterback to go to the Super Bowl or nothing like that. So they're in the worst case scenario year in and year out. So I personally think he should have been fired years ago. It's headed in that direction again. I mean, they beat Pitts, they beat Baltimore. I still think Baltimore's going to end up finding a way to win that division because they play them again. So it's going to be it's another year of the same cycle of Mike Tomlin just running in a hamster wheel, it seems like. And again, I'm not a Steelers fan, but I watch enough football to know. Like, it just seems like on the outside looking at it, it's just the same thing year in and out. 9-10 wins, playoff berth, losing the wild card. Like, at a point in time, especially when you're a standard of a Pittsburgh Steelers organization, it's like, all right. That's just what I think. And I doubt the Rooneys end up moving on from them, but I feel like they should because it's just it's no hard feelings. Like, I'm sure he'll probably go down as their greatest head coach or maybe second to Bill Cowher or whatever. But it's just like he I think they need to move on from him because they are in a cycle that's never going to end unless they do that.
The only way I see Tomlin getting out is two ways. Either he finally has a losing season or some team like the Giants trade for him. The way the Broncos traded for Sean Payton.
So it's no way you say that it could be a healthy departure.
I don't see it.
I don't think, like unless they gave him a front office job or something like that, they have a huge amount of respect for Mike Tomlin there in Pittsburgh, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
He's won there, and again, they haven't had a losing season, under him. So it's like the point you made. At first, I was kind of wondering where you was going with it, but the point you made was spot on. Like, he's going to continue to be, if he ain't in, the top of the division, or one of the top teams, he's going to be at least average at the least. He's not going to be trash. So it's like they're in a tough situation, and they got to find a way to shift out of that. What that is, I don't know, but I mean, I would look at it in the sense that you got to trade one of your top guys. Maybe you got to trade a TJ Watt.
I mean, they traded their top guy to Dallas. They traded George Pickens and then traded for DK Metcalf. So, like, they've already done the most they've done in years.
I mean, but they acquired Metcalf more so in them sense of like be more so sellers and move some of them picks to kind of recoup something, and maybe you get a top pick or something. I don't know, but it's a tight niche to be in. So I get exactly what you're saying, Juan. And I don't know. But I don't see him getting fired. Maybe like you said, John, a trade. Maybe
who's gonna get him out for that though? No one. I mean,
Giants, Raiders.
Are they living off of the past? Because what has he done? Really, they haven't won a playoff game since.
But they. I hear what you're saying in reference to that, but also with mediocre to trash talent, he's having winning seasons like Mason Rudolph, Justin Fields,
Doug Hodges.
These quarterbacks that he's had there are like booty, and he still finds ways to win the game and be in the hunt.
True.
Mike Tomlin is the epitome of taking one man's trash and making it a little bit nicer on the outside.
True, and we'll shift back to our team, obviously, but I wanted to answer this question because it's very intriguing. But true, but think about it in our perspective. Say Dan Quinn does that for the next 6 years. They're already on his ass now after 2. Like, at a point in time, you're gonna get tired of 9-8, 9-8, and they're mess. It's a weird situation, as you said. And Z, you brought up a good point, like front office job. Who did that recently that I'm not catching up on right now? He moved to the front office. His head is I know who I'm thinking of. I can't remember his name.
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians. There we go. Yep,
Yeah.
Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
Bruce
They
Arians.
maybe they do that, but it's like again, I don't know if they have the balls to. Like, are they gonna put their faith in Will Howard? Like,
well, and most of us would have forgotten that Bruce Arians is a part of the front office because you never see him. It's Todd Bowles front and center. It's Baker front and center. It's like Buka and Tez and Bucky and Mike and Chris and Vita all up front. So you're like, oh, Bruce Arians is way in the back of the room kind of thing. But I don't. Yeah, Dan Quinn is our current football head coach. But to your point, Juan, do they have the balls? Unless Khan decides to do it or the Rooney family decides to do it, I don't necessarily see that because the moment Mike Tomlin, let's say, just gets released in the offseason, I give it 48 hours until he has a new job, college or pro.
I think that's the route they got to go because you have to. Because again, back to Z's point, and we'll shift back to our Commanders. But to Z's point, the only other way is to trade a key player and then hope that nets you enough to get a top pick. Which, let's be for real, who do they have on their team? Nobody. TJ Watt is what 30 plus, and I'm not gonna say he's falling off, but he's not the same TJ Watt that's prime TJ Watt. He's still good, but is he good enough to net you a top 5, top 10 pick anymore? Probably not. No. So the only way out for them is to let go of Mike Tomlin. And that sucks to say because again, he's had the success, but it's like you're the Steelers. You're the team before Tom Brady did it. You were the team with the most championships ever. Mm-hmm. You think of the Steelers, you think of Troy Polamalu, you think of Terry Bradshaw, and I'm not
Mean Joe Green.
Mean Joe Green, the bus. Like that's them, and they haven't quite frankly been able to be that because they don't have Big Ben, right?
Hell, Antonio Brown,
who people say would have been the greatest receiver of all time if
he was on track.
Yeah,
he was on track. But getting us back on track, back to our Commanders, Dan shouldn't be fired. I think to Z's point, he needs to have pressure, have a chip on his shoulder. I think in the past 2-3 weeks, Kliff is on the hot seat. This offense is pedestrian at best, currently constructed. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know if someone took, Kliff's Crayola markers and he can't get creative anymore, but it's just run, short pass, run, short pass, handoff down the middle, deep bomb that fails, punt. It's like, what else is there?
It's been like that since the Green Bay game, though. Like
it has, but we've gotten lucky in terms of we'll have big moments. I'm talking about pretty much since the Miami game these past couple of weeks.
Yeah. I'm not even. Trust me, I'm not defending them at all. I totally agree with you, and that's what I'm saying. Look back to Green Bay. I just felt like all year, and I stopped to think about last year as well. But I felt like all year it's been curls, it's been screens, it's slants. Been barely slants though. Not even as I wish he threw more slants, especially to Terry. It's been it's been literally the RPO shit. It's been so basic that every team we play seems to know what the fuck we're doing. You know what I mean? When you play real defensive coordinators, Green Bay, when we just played the Vikings, a few other games in there, we couldn't do nothing. The only game I feel like the offense broke out was the Chargers game for real, and the Raiders, which barely even counts. You know what I mean? So it's Kliff has, and it's been going this narrative been going around that Kliff is stubborn with his philosophy, his play calling. He doesn't really switch up. He doesn't adjust. And he gonna roll with what he roll with, and it's just dude, you got to change it. And it made me think about last. I just think how many shots have we taken this year? And I get it, your top guys ain't been there, but that don't mean you don't take fucking shots.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You still gotta go through the motions of playing football. You gotta call a game. I don't give a fuck who's out there. Robbie Chosen can run a fucking fly with decent speed. You know what I mean? So it's we haven't really attacked the defense enough for them to pose a threat. And then once they start stacking the box, it's over for us. He hasn't consistently ran the ball all fucking year. And then, you know what I mean? It's the narrative about, oh, we're still top 5 or wherever we are in the league as far as rushing. Fuck that. I watch these games in and out, and the dude don't consistently run the fucking ball.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you expect your offense to kind of establish some type of flow, consistency, or anything when you're not doing that? And the play calling just be like all over the place. It's nothing situational. Like, it's just like you said, the creativity is gone. And last year we kind of struggled with that a little bit, but it seemed like towards the back end of the season, he started turning up, taking more shots, giving Diami more opportunities and shit like that. And it opened up the offense. But it's like this year, like, we have nothing.
And it also helps the fact that Jayden Daniels is able to mask a lot of the deficiencies.
Last year, yeah. This year, that shit showing.
I think Kliff Kingsbury does some great things. I think he is still a creative genius. I think if you're going to give the benefit of the doubt to Dan Quinn in terms of all the injuries, someone said on my stream, which or not stream, on my video, that Joe Witt deserved the benefit of the doubt for injuries. I said, okay, we had a lot of injuries defensively, but Kliff Kingsbury literally lost his 2 biggest weapons. And by any means, am I trying to defend Kliff? No. But the thing is there is a limit that you have to expect with his. If he's not having Jayden Daniels, if he's not having Terry McLaurin, and Deebo Samuel misses time, and Bill turns out not to be who we thought he was, whether that's a lack of using him correctly or just him having his rookie woes, you had to expect some type of drop back from Kliff's success last year if a lot of his key pieces aren't out there. Noah Brown, right, was supposed to be the the wide receiver 2. Haven't seen him since Green Bay, but shout out to Noah Brown. He came back and did exactly week 2. But shout out to Noah Brown. He came back and did exactly what we know him for. Let's get a passing
draw, passing the front.
That's DPI merchant.
That's it.
I'm not here to solely, defend Kliff, but I like Dan Quinn. I think he deserves at least one more year. Because think about it like this, right? Kliff was supposed to be a head coach last year. He could have took the Saints job. He turned it down. A lot of people were all on the Kliff bandwagon last year. But just like how this year we've taken a step back due to injuries and Jayden Daniels and stuff like that, so people have like, okay, Washington isn't serious. We know who they really are. They have now went quiet on Kliff Kingsbury. Kliff Kingsbury now has to rebuild his
stock,
his stock and his resume, because he said he still wants to be a head coach.
Yep.
And I look at it like this, chat. Like 3 years of Kliff, if Kingsbury is enough, like next year, whether it's good or bad, I see us moving on from him. Because if we're bad, that's 2.5 years of people calling for Kliff Kingsbury's offense being not good, and he's not running the ball. Because that's the biggest thing with me, that like I share the same perspective as you all. Like, he just gets past happy, but that's who he is. Like, that's who he is at the core. If he can have Jayden Daniels throw the ball 50 times, he would.
He's tried.
So he doesn't want to run the football, but if Kliff struggles next year, okay, get him out of here. If he's good next year, he's gone.
Yeah.
Because if he's good, that means we're good, and that means we're back on the nation.
We're back on track.
We're back on the league wide spectrum.
Notice the national notice, yeah.
So I feel like I don't think we should move on from Kliff, because I feel like either way it goes, he's gonna be gone next year. And I am big on same people returning back, so the continuity. A lot of people talk double-headed, right? They say Juan, or they say Z, or they say John. I want consistency. I want continuity. But you're the same people screaming, fire him after a bad season or a bad game. And it's like, you can't have both. So especially when it comes to the quarterback position, we've been through this year in and year out with different quarterbacks and different play callers, different quarterbacks, different play calls. For the first time, and it seems like since Kirk Cousins, I could be wrong, because Taylor Heineke was here, but he wasn't really a starter by pick. He was just started by force. So I could be
by
wrong,
association.
I would say this is the first time we've had a consistent signal caller and play caller since Kirk. I Could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I guess Dwayne, but may God rest his soul.
Nah.
Start that.
Yeah, Kurt.
Kurt.
So
And I hate to say it, I ain't even a Kurt fan, but Kurt.
yeah, like we haven't had that since Kurt. Now we do.
Maybe
And
Alex.
he was here for 1 year though.
Yeah.
2018. So it would have been him had he stayed healthy, but like essentially what I'm saying is no, Kliff hasn't been perfect. No, Kliff still neglects the run game at times. No, Kliff isn't the most creative person in terms of helping out against a good defense like Minnesota, helping out your quarterback, getting the ball out of his hands quick. But I can't say that because damn, Deebo Samuel hit it right in his face. Pause.
Man.
Like so and Kliff, and I know Z, you kind of was like, I ain't really trying to hit it, but like technically according to the stats, the offense has been good, but we just haven't been able to show for it because, again, I did this exercise not to ramble on, but let's just go back to week 4, the game in Atlanta. I was there. I seen it up close and personal. Y'all seen it on TV. Like, defensively, we just couldn't get a stop. But offensively, Mariota played well. I get he threw a pick. Mariota played well for that game for us to win. You go back to the Raiders game week 3. Obviously, good. Week 5, Jayden Daniels comes back. Offensively, as you mentioned, Z, and I agree. That's the best I've seen this offense. And that felt like the turning point again. It felt like normal. Then week 6 versus Chicago, you're a bobble snap away from winning that game. You win that game, I don't think this season spills out to be what it was, right? Then week 7 versus Dallas, that I say what you want, but that game started off competitive. Jayden took us right down. We scored, and I still say to this day, had we not let up a touchdown right before half, we're winning that game. And even so, we were down 30-15 going into the locker room. And Jayden ended up getting hurt on the drive coming out of the locker room. We were moving the football. So I think if Jayden plays, if we don't win the game, it's way more competitive than that.
Yeah, we keep it close.
Then week 8, Kansas City. We seen that game. We could have won that game had we lived in their territory. Deebo Samuel, bobble pick. We lived in their territory. There's no reason we only had 7 points to show for that game. Then week 9 is that Seattle? Or is that Detroit?
Seattle.
That was Seattle. Okay, it's nothing to say about that. That was probably a horrible game for everybody. That was a horrible game for everybody. Can't. Then week 10 versus Miami.
Detroit.
Excuse me. Detroit. I was there at that game too. Offensively, they were moving the football. We just weren't on the field long enough because Detroit would go on these long drives that would take up so much of the quarter, and clearly the defense couldn't get a stop. But Mariota played okay again in that game. Then overseas, right? Offensively, that game was just a little bit of a wash, right? But we had nobody. Okay. And then the game after that, the Denver game after the bye week, I mean, that we all was happy about that game. That felt like last
game of the year.
Kliff was in his bag. Mariota looked good, right? And then last week happened. So theoretically, what I'm saying is 2 games out of the whole season, he missed Jayden Daniels for most of it. He missed Terry McLaurin for most of it. He was not as bad as people are making him out to be. So I think at worst you bring him back for next year, and then wash your hands clean with him. I'm just both Dan Quinn and Kliff. I'm higher on most people, and maybe I'm just more patient than most people. But like I get this offense has its woes, but it's hard for me to truly judge it when we haven't been at our full capacity all year long.
Yeah,
right. Like,
I think.
Are you good? I can say it, but go ahead.
I think for me is I'm with you on the patience on the offense. I've run out of patience on this defense. I was calling for Joe Witt 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. Dan, you can't stop nobody. You can't stop a soul. You can't stop a speeding car doing 0 miles an hour. You can't stop a cold Antarctica naked during a blizzard. You can't stop nothing on defense.
Mm-hmm.
The offense, yes, is it statistically on paper, is it probably an average offense? Yes. Are we capable of scoring points? Yes. But it's the same thing with the Bengals last year. We can score 35. Defense is going to give up 50. No matter what happens, we're always either catching up from behind, or we're never in a spot to come from behind. It's always, hey, Deebo's give him a touchdown, at least go out, put some points. I'm gonna go on 4th and goal times and not get it. How about that? and then they then drive again and drive again, drive again and again and again. Tress Way has probably gotten the most work he's ever had in his career.
I love Tress Way, but Tress, to me, Tress hasn't been hitting. Like, he hasn't hit since, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm getting old, man. He has been here since I was literally a kid, but like they praise him for what he's still cool, but it's like I miss the old Tress where it's like you are new coming off that left foot, boy. They was like, now we get excited when I get pissed when he's kicking it inside, and I know that sounds crazy, but I get pissed when the ball rolls to the 12 or the 10. They say, well, that's Tress Way for you. That's a good, like, I miss the old Tress where it's like you knew he was pinning them inside their own five. Like you know, like that 2019 Tress.
I miss TW5.
Yeah,
that's my
I think that's what it is, John. I think that 10 is just not, you know. I think it's that 10, man. That 10. But
take one off of Debo, give it to Tress, give it next year.
But nah, I get you. I definitely understand. We're all over the page of defense. That's the only coach where it's like, okay, we can find somebody new or Dan Quinn. I'm with giving Dan Quinn at least a full year. Like I even say if you gave Dan Quinn what Joe Witt had, this defense is better. Listen, people want to criticize him for not, like, that's why I'm saying this fan base is so wishy-washy, bro. Before the bye week, oh, he did a damn good job against Miami, blah, blah, blah. Then maybe he should have. What took him so long? My guy has one bad performance, and it's like, oh, well, if you're not good at the side of the ball that you quote unquote was good at and got you a second job opportunity, you need to go.
Yeah.
I say judge him next year once he has a full healthy unit, and we'll have a top 5 pick more likely than not, and he'll have a potential to draft a blue chip guy, whether that's offense or defensively. I just say this: you give Dan Quinn what Joe Witt had, so I'm talking Marshawn Lattimore, and yes, Marshawn Lattimore I think would have been good under Dan Quinn's tutelage. Trey Amos. Right, you give him Dorrance Armstrong, Will Hurst, all the injured players, Dietrich Wise, everybody that Joe Witt had. You give that to Dan Quinn. I doubt this defense is as bad as it is.
It's probably not as bad, but the fact that we went from holding Miami to 16, holding Denver to 28, but we keep overtime to doing nothing on Sunday.
I will say though, we got to give them more credit about holding Miami to 16 points because they won 6 out of their last 7, and that offense is booming with Devin A-Chain. So you gotta give them a little bit more credit than that. But I get your point. I get your point. Z getting some love in the chat. Z, okay. Yeah, I done seen about 5 different people say what's up to Z. Z over there quiet and been, you know, he been a little Hollywood chat.
I was letting y'all get y'all shit off. But
my man Z, they say Z, how many guns you got? I don't know what they were.
I don't know what that meant. I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. I didn't know what that meant. You know, I don't own any guns. But I mean, it was one point I did want to. Oh yeah, so
hey,
kind of revert back to what you're saying about Kliff. If Kliff comes back, like, Dan needs to put his foot down though. Like I said, like, dog, run the ball more. Period. Dog, stretch the field more. Stop calling these remedial ass plays. Like, open up this playbook. Like, he's this mastermind. Like, I haven't seen nothing mastermind-ish this year. Period. And again, like, I know people keep talking about, well, what about the talent that's out there and all that? Like, dog, if you're not taking those shots, you might as well just fucking lay down and let the game end. I don't care that it's Chris Moore, Robbie Chosen, and those other guys. You got to call the plays and you got to run them fucking plays and take the shots, dog. Like, just because you got them don't mean you're going to curl it up and screen it up to Debo every play all goddamn day. Like, it's not going to work. You gotta do something.
That's tough. That's tough to say though, Z. I get you, but it's like I get you, but it's like
look at the other teams. With other teams, bro, like you gotta. I hear what you're saying, but you look at other teams when their guys go down, that shit don't change their offense. Like they running the same shit. Either the guy gonna make a play or he ain't, but it ain't stopping them from running their plays.
I wouldn't even go that far.
We just shut down and we just ball up and curl up and just let
and die.
Yeah, and just die. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I wouldn't even go that far. Every first drive we've had on offense, run, pass, run, convert. Run, pass, convert. It's a balanced offense. The minute the first drive doesn't end with a rush, you never see it again in the game. It's pass, run, pass, run, pass. Pass.
First drive of Minnesota. All right, we talking about we got all our weapons back. It's Minnesota. Jayden's there. Terry's there. Noah Brown is there. Like we got our guys back. We have a hell of a first drive. We get down there. You throwing a fucking pass to Brandon Coleman for what? Like that shit was dumb. Then you come back, you know what I mean? We couldn't even we didn't score on that drive. And then you know what I mean, you come back and like I didn't see any more shots taken. Terry was still on the field. Mariota was in like all the weapons that we supposedly had was still there. You thought the offense would have opened up and we would have been more creative. We saw the same shit with the Chris Moores in the game.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that creativity, that situational shit, it don't happen on third. If it's 3rd and fucking 2, 3rd and 3, force the ball to Terry, throw a slant, throw a comeback, whatever you do, force the ball to your guys. He don't do that though. He don't hone in and focus on situational shit, and that shit is crazy.
I agree with you to that point. I think I called him I think a few weeks ago I called him a Scott Turner, but with actual skill, right? Because they had the same biggest deficiency. So their situational awareness is the biggest thing and I agree with that, right? Like I think Chris, I said it last week. Chris Rodriguez, he deserved to be the RB2 headed in the next year. He showed me enough, right? And we've always known how talented he was. But I get you. He helped you get down that field on that first drive of the game. And you don't take one chance to run it in with him, I'm sure he would have got it, right? Instead of that, Brandon, okay, you first to go, you decide to pass. Cool. Okay. You decide to pass on the second down. Okay, cool. But 3rd and goal, that's the time to bring out the Brandon Coleman play? No. Brandon Coleman play should have been the first play of the game. I mean, first drive of 1st and goal. But even still, let's call it what it is if we're going to be true. Brandon Coleman was open. Jayden Daniels just didn't see
Fuck that, though. But why are we running that? Why? Like,
I'm just saying.
You run that play when you, like, up, you trying to look pretty, like, you trying to, like, win. Like, why? We didn't need that.
But to ease your concern, or maybe I should say raise your concern, 4th and goal, hit it right in Debo's hands. What you got to say about that? Drew it up perfectly. JD threw a perfect pass. So all that would have been wiped away. We wouldn't even be crying about that. Had Debo,
I would have at least true, but I also would have taken the field goal and like at least get some points on the board.
Hell no, John. No, John. We're 3-10. No, you go for. We got nothing to lose. You go for everything. You're not playing for nothing. Don't kick the field. No.
Well, apparently we got more to lose. We lose Jayden again.
I mean, look, that he overcorrected for his mistake in Seattle. Jayden could play if he wanted to right now, but they're going to overcorrect because he doesn't want to make that same mistake. But we do have a super chat from Otis. Pull that up.
Yeah.
My man Reedie in the building. What's good, Reedie?
What up?
What up? Hey, yeah.
Cooling, man. Cooling.
I seen y'all was
Kliff.
Oh, what about him?
Hot seat. Does he stay? Does he go? Like what? Like we talking about the quality of the offense, and is it worth? Yeah, like what? But I'm gonna give you a recap. All right, so the hot seat, basically the hot seat discussion. Kliff, Dan, who's on the hot seat? We all agree. We all agree Dan shouldn't be on no hot seat. He good. The question around Kliff. All right, and it's for me. I'm more so saying like if he goes, cool. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not necessarily vouching for him to stay, but if he do stay, I can live with that. If he leaves, I can live with that. I think John is kind of like on the same sense with me. Like I'm not calling for his job, but it is what it is. But Juan is vouching like I don't want to see him go. I want the continuity and bring him back next year. And Juan broke down every game pretty much week to week, and he's basically saying it's probably like two 2 to 3 games that's his offense really been questionable. He feel like he still put out a good offense with what we had, and I'm going against that because I feel like I was saying no matter your weapons, you still should be able to run your offense. I get you may not be as dynamic and you can't get super duper creative, but we don't take shots. We don't consistently run the ball. And with or without our stars, we still running curls, hitches, screens, predictable, basic, remedial ass offense. And I feel like if he stays, we need more. And Dan Quinn need to put some heat up under his ass to force him to, generate more on our offense.
Wake up.
What's your take?
I mean, I think my take will be, I think he stays. I'm with Juan on this one. I'm kind of like in a situation. Okay, we had a bad year overall. The injuries that's number one. So sometimes you can't come back from that. It's not like we had barn burners as far as skills positions and things of that nature. So I'm giving grace. You know what I'm saying with that. The only thing I would say is Kliff needs to evolve more and run the football a little bit more. But we knew that going into getting Kliff that there was a possibility that he wouldn't run the football. But when he was in Arizona, he did run the football. So I'm kind of torn by that. I kind of think we might not have the personnel necessarily for his offense, but I just think, given how things have gone, we just hit the reset button and start over and come back. I don't think he's necessarily on the hot seat for me because look what we wasn't saying this last year, so we can't turn the corner now and say this, that, and the third because it ain't look right for us or it ain't go our way. It happens, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. You like I always say, Z, you one injury away from being sorry. So that's what I got with it.
Look what happened to us. And I also, to Reedie, to catch you up, to finish what I said was, I also think this is Kliff's last year regardless. I think either next year we get back on the radar because he was always supposed to be a head coach last year and he just turned down the Saints job. So I think either next year, once we healthy, JD has go back to his old self, we have another good year and we're back to, competing in the NFC East playoff spot and he gets a head coaching job next year, or we continue being mid offensively, not good, and he's fired. So I think either way next year he's gone. So that's why I'm like, you might as well just ride it out with the same crew one last time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I have a. Oh no, go ahead.
No, you good. Just Otis, overtime. Otis had a super chat that he wanted us to answer.
Yeah.
We kind of answered it, just mistakenly, but you could put it up there and you could finish talking about it.
Yeah. I'll do super chat. My bad.
My bad.
Super chat first.
No,
would you guys be okay with 2 new coordinators? We kind of answered this ironically enough.
Yes.
I think on defense we're kind of okay with the new coordinator. I think on offense at one point we need some continuity. But I think the Z and I are like, if Kliff is gone, we're not going to be out in the riot saying, how do they bring him back? My thing would be, who are you going to bring in? Is it going to be someone respected and veteran? Is it going to be someone younger from college or, an assistant somewhere else? I think defensively we need a new one. Or if you bring Witt back, he needs to have more like bravado with Dan calling plays. I just don't think we're actually going to go with 2 new fresh coordinators.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. But again, I think if it did happen, I mean, I would care, man. Like, it would have to be an upgrade. You know what I mean? And like you said, the McDonald was definitely is it Mike McDonald or Mike McDaniel?
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. He was on my list to be Kliff replacement. But like you said, he's won 6 out of the last 7, so he might be keeping his job.
So is that why? we're kind of saying Kliff's on the hot seat because we kind of got other guys that are out there that are potential head coach fires that might be available that we think we like a little bit better?
Nah, it's just been a trending topic about after the game and how poorly the offense was and just in general. The trending topic is them two basically, are they both on the hot seat?
So walk me through some of the highlights of the game. You don't got to walk me through the whole game because I didn't see the game.
There was no
I just
highlight.
Not
Yeah.
not one highlight.
so I didn't miss, so I didn't miss nothing.
You didn't miss
Not
shit.
at all.
Unless you
Okay.
wanted to watch Noah Brown draw a pass interference and you want to see Chris
Benson getting
Rodriguez.
a
Yeah,
catch.
the first drive, we moved the ball like it was last year. Like Jayden hit Terry on like a comeback or something for probably about 25 yards or 30 yards or some shit like that. Rodriguez had a few good runs. I think Debo might have caught a slant or some shit like that.
He had a nice third down conversion.
Yeah, so like, and then we got down to the one, and we couldn't get in, and he ran a fucking play action to Brandon Coleman.
The
Yeah, he was
trick
wide
shot.
open, but Jayden didn't necessarily throw it. I mean, he was wide open though, so it's like I've heard people defend him in the sense like, well, he was open. It was a good call. Like, fuck that. Why are we running that play? Run a fucking dive, bro. Run a
Okay.
dive 4 times. The Philadelphia Eagles would have ran fucking tush push 4 times. That's the
They have
situation
already.
shit I be talking about. Like, get in the end zone. It don't gotta be pretty. Like, just score fucking points. That's my thing. They trying to get too cute.
Your man Debo dropped a touchdown on 4th down too, by the way.
Yeah,
So if
he
there was a
did.
And that
game
was
for
the
you
first
to ever
drive.
He
miss,
did.
there was a game for you to ever miss. You perfect timing, like Shador.
Mhm.
It was nothing.
Yep.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
It
Yeah.
it was wild. To Asia's point, because ironically that goes into what I was going to talk about. She says poached from the McVay or the Shanahan tree. That was my point. Linnell pointed out this on Saturday or on Sunday after the game. Dan Quinn consistently gets outcoached by Shanahan offensive play callers because, and there's been 5 this season. Minnesota and Kevin O'Connell gave up 31. Seattle and Clint Kubiak gave up 38. Matt LaFleur in Green Bay gave up 27. Mike McDaniels in Miami gave up 16. Zach Robinson, the OC/QB coach in Atlanta, 34. Between the Shanahan coaches we've faced so far, we've given up 146 points.
I don't agree with the comment like that's on the screen. He needs an OC that can elevate his play. He elevated his play last year.
I mean,
So we can't sit there and say that. Like we can't. Yo, it's one season, bro. Get him at and give him another opportunity. Like when do we get to the point where
I think
you know
Jayden.
teams are just supposed to be hooping?
I think
You
Jayden
know,
elevated Cliff last year.
I think Cliff had some wrinkles in there.
I mean, of course, but I think if you had a
That's cap.
balanced
That's cap.
game, it's more Jayden.
That's cap. I don't believe that. That's cap.
Yeah, the scale is more
No, it was
Jayden.
crazy.
Cliff dialed up some stuff last year, and I'm not saying that I'm necessarily like.
Cliff ain't dial up shit until the Lions game.
All right.
Oh well, what game was that when he
No.
did a? Well, no, what game was that when he
Like
did
it's
like a
like
reverse
this
pass?
fan base and these fans just like forget shit. Like
What
just
game was
because it
that
ain't
when he did
going,
the
just
reverse
because it
pass?
ain't going right. But did you know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
No,
man.
stop and think. Stop and think, real quick. Real shit. Real shit. Stop and think. What game was that when he did like that reverse pass and I think Diami threw it or Diami dropped it or something. Diami
Dallas.
threw it. That was Dallas.
That was the one that Dallas
That's when he
used.
started dialing shit up, Reedie. That was like towards the back end of the season. Like early on in the season, we kept complaining how last year how Cliff wasn't doing enough. We were winning games, but we felt like he could have been doing more. Then he started really dialing that shit up once we really got to the back end of the season and into the playoffs, taking more shots, throwing it, you know what I mean, deep ball to Diami and shit like that.
I mean,
And we was beat.
I can understand the point if we had like Lions players, their roster, and then I mean, obviously you can open it up then, but with the roster that we've been putting on the field the last 2 seasons as far as skill positions, like what can you dial up with that? You had Terry McLaurin basically, and you have Zach Ertz, and then you had Jayden, and then this year we got Debo, but nobody we were consistently unhealthy. So what can you dial up with that? You had guys like Chosen, you had Chris Moore's of the world. Terry just came back. He missed X amount of games. So how can we definitively say we could see this or we could see that if we haven't had a full roster on at his disposal? That's all I'm saying. You can't we can't just be saying, "Oh, get him out of there." Come on, man. It's dudes that been here for years and years, and people wasn't saying get him out of there because we have a bad stretch of games. It's football. It happens. You one injury away from being some shit.
Yeah, and to the point of that last comment too, I think they did a good job of both elevating each other's play, but also last year a lot of people weren't having those he doesn't elevate Jaden's
Yeah, I
play.
don't remember that.
A lot of people were the opposite. Remember early on, the narrative was it's a college offense. He does a good job getting the ball out of Jaden's hands fast, so he doesn't have to think too much. So it was pretty much the
Facts.
opposite
Facts.
of what y'all are saying now. So it's kind of like, are we?
Yeah, I don't.
You know,
Jayden did run the ball a lot last year.
but it also
Off schedule plays.
and Z kind of
Yeah, he had to use his legs because the offensive line was trash. It wasn't nobody getting the fuck open. With these guys that we sat here on this same program saying, "Oh, we should have kept us." Zacchaeus or De'Ami Brown. De'Ami, really, if we being honest, De'Ami Brown didn't show up to the fucking playoffs. But we want to sit on here and say, "Oh, like he was like the best coming to Jesus Christ." No, the fuck he wasn't. That nigga was ass. The fuck. Like, come on, I've been thinking about that. Like, I've been had a lot of time. Like, I ain't been in my phone really. I've been kind of locked in. I'm down in Florida, but so I had a lot of time to like think back on shit that we said on the program. And some of the time, like, yo, we reaching a little bit. Like, come on, we should have kept this person. We should have kept that person. We was calling for them to get them the fuck out of there last year. But now we're gonna say we should have kept them because this year's choices didn't go right. Come on, man. Now I feel like if next year looks the same, then yeah, we need to move on from Cliff ass. Okay, yeah, you had your one season. This is your wash season because last year was an outlier. We got to the NFC Championship. This year we had the injuries. Okay, you really didn't. You was working. You working with shit. What else are you supposed to do? I give you the benefit of the doubt. Now, if you go and we go out and we re-sign, say a Debo, we go out and make a move and bring in another number one receiver. We draft somebody who's nice, in the draft or whatever we do, depending on where we land in the draft, and we do the same thing next year, then okay, yeah, Cliff, you got to go. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm at too. That's where I'm at with Cliff and Dan. Next year you can have these discussions, but right now I feel like it's still a little premature, especially.
I think Dan. Not to cut you off, one. I'm sorry, but I think Dan is cool. Like Dan is pushing all of the right buttons. But we don't have the personnel. Like we don't. We're old as shit. We are old. Like all of these teams got young. What we need to do is find a way to lose these last games, move up. If we get the number one pick, whatever top 3, 4 pick we get, trade out and follow the Philadelphia Eagles motto. And get these draft picks that we wasted on Marshawn Lattimore and others, in the fold.
No,
We got to get younger.
That's the dilemma that we face, though. We talk about trading back, getting recuperating draft capital, but we also say on the other hand, we don't have that many blue chip players. So could you really afford, if you're sitting at one, to trade back?
Hold on, what did he say? Reedie could have gave the Treylon Burks a fade on the red zone versus that Brandon Cook. I didn't see the game, so explain that to me. What is he talking about?
Talking about the first drive. So all right, the first drive we were at the one and we threw 4 pass plays on 3rd and goal. He threw a play action boot to Brandon Coleman, kind of like the Trent Scott play versus the Bengals. It was that.
Yeah.
It was open. Cliff. So again, y'all say F that and all that. Technically he drew it up. It was open. Sometimes, not sometimes, you gotta execute the play. I can draw it up as good as I can, but if you don't execute the play, that's on the players. How that's on me. So he drew it up. Brandon Coleman was open. Jayden didn't see him. Incomplete pass. 4th and goal.
Been on fire.
He has been on fire.
So Brandon Coleman was like an eligible, went out for a pass that he didn't throw it to him?
No.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
that. Then 4th and goal, your man Debo, probably the best pass Jayden threw all year long. Hit him right in the midst, dropped. So it's like you can sit here and say we should have did this, should have did that instead of throwing to Brandon Coleman, but the very next play you had a touchdown and your man dropped it. So
But
like
that's why you run the fucking.
I'm not defending it. I'm not reviewing that. I do think because Chris Rock, as again, Chris Rodriguez is your running back 2 headed in the next year. If it's not, I'm going to have an issue. He has showed you. He averaged 6 yards a pop on Sunday. Like, he is running the hell out the ball. So I'm not disagreeing, but at the same time, man, you got to make the play was there to be made, and these players ain't make the play.
So basically, what happened? So, what I'm gathering is Chris Rodriguez, the first drive was kind of like on a heater a little bit, and he got away from him.
Yep.
He ain't go to. I'm basically the rest of the game.
He was on a
So
heater.
wow. So what happened in the game? Were we chasing? Was it what was the reason why? It had to be clearly we lost 31, whatever.
They scored. It was 14-0 at one point, but they scored. They got
What is 31-0?
31-0.
Yeah, it was 31-0 when it ended, but it was 14-0 for a good while. But before that, I think Minnesota went down and scored whatever their tight end scored, and then we got the ball back, and I can't remember, was it a fumble or something? It was something that happened, and then they end up getting the ball back and scored again. Yeah. It was 14-0, but it was still a reachable, attainable game.
Yeah,
but
Jayden threw
got out of hand in the second half.
Yeah, Jayden threw.
So, but I heard somebody text me and said something about they went to Bill in the second half or something like that.
Yeah, they ran the ball with Bill, but he got I think Bill had probably 30, 40 yards on a few carries.
Yeah, Bill had 32 on 7.
Yeah.
C-Rod had 52 on 10. So we had a grand total of 100 total rush yards.
So basically, what the gripe is that they didn't stick with C-Rod.
Jayden had 40, 50 yards himself, right?
But clearly you down.
16.
No, was it Mario? So I thought I saw Jayden get a long run or some shit.
The longest run Jayden had was 5 yards.
So 16 yards. What did Mariota have?
7 yards on 2 rushes.
7. Maybe I'm thinking about a different game on a rushing tip, but yeah.
So what quarter did Jayden get hurt?
Back of the second or third, right?
Yeah, I want to say the third.
He threw a pick and he tried to make a tackle. And Rogers,
Number 2.
On his elbow.
But this is a good question right here too.
If you need a perfect storm to succeed, do we need him? I feel like you can make that case for any other coach in the league, though. Yeah. Because what coach in the league is truly dominating with less right now? Let's think about it. New England and Drake May is hooping. He is borderline MVP. Drake May is hooping right now, but I could be wrong, but from what my memory serves, they had the most salary cap for the past years, and they were building that team before Drake May even got there. And last year they weren't good, so they had a top pick. So so New England has a good team,
good-ish because it's 1 year under Vrabel, but I'll give you that.
Team. I'm just thinking about to answer that question.
Yeah, I think the only coach, and to Asia's right, Kyle Shanahan in San Fran. A revolving door of backup, whether it's Brock or Mac, a revolving door of wide receivers is literally McCaffrey, Kittle, and then pick your poison of which wide receiver 5 you're throwing to. So that might be the only one.
So out of a league of 32 teams, you're the only team you could point to that say that's succeeding with less is Kyle Shanahan right now. And even that has asterisks by it to an extent because you still got Christian McCaffrey. And they have been building that same roster for damn near 10 years with John Lynch and stuff like that. So
could you throw the Bills in there? They don't have a consistent one receiver. It's James Cook and Josh Allen, pretty much.
You could throw Buffalo in there, but that defense made some huge plays on Sunday. And
they did, but also
is that consistent? Not necessarily, but
so two.
I'll give you. Okay, you know what? Instead of doing 32, let's just do the teams that's in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So okay, out of the 16 teams or 14 teams in the playoffs, you give me 2 teams out of 14 teams that's succeeding with less. So that kind of if you need a perfect storm, every team to an extent needs some sort of perfect storm, because perfect storm doesn't just refute back to your talent on your team. It also goes to how lucky have you been with health wise. Stuff like that. Is your quarterback healthy? Is your team healthy? Have you been bitten by the injury bug? Is your coach pushing the right buttons? Things like that to have a perfect storm because, again, out of all 14 of these teams, or should I say 12 out of the 14 teams, or excuse me, the 2 out of the 14 teams that's currently in the playoff picture, technically needed a perfect situation because had one thing went wrong for them like it has for us, they probably wouldn't be in the situation that they're in right now. Drake May goes down, doubt New England's in that is in their situation right now.
What about Denver?
Denver is ass. They're so mid, but they're a first round exit. Yes. They're a first round exit.
It was the high register on Z.
Bruh. I don't care. Yes. Yes, they're a first round exit. That defense is amazing. Don't get me wrong. So ass is probably a stretch. One, yes, but no. Bo Nix is so mid. That offense is so mid. They're a first round exit for sure. They're gonna win
Denver is literally defense, running backs, and then Bo Nix.
They're going to win the AFC West, which I'm not even confident in to say because I know Herb is playing with one hand, but they got Kansas City on Sunday. We know they're a shell of themselves. They got the Dallas, they got Houston, they got Denver. So, okay, Denver probably is going to win that division. They're not beating no wild card team. There's not a single wild card team I'm taking Denver over. I don't care if they're going to have a home game. I don't care that they're probably going to fetch the seed. They're not beating only if they match up with, let's say, Pittsburgh. Okay, but they get Baltimore. They're not being Baltimore. I don't care. I know Baltimore. They're not being Baltimore. They're not being Houston.
Houston, I'll give you. Houston, I will 100% give you. If I'm looking at current day NFL playoff picture, I would put betting odds favorite Denver over currently constructed bad offense Baltimore and currently constructed veteran retirement home led Indianapolis Colts. Because I have no clue what Phil Rivers are.
Those are the only, but there's no guarantee that they even make the playoffs. I mean, I know you said current day. So currently, right now, if you look at the playoff picture, it's 3 teams from the AFC South in the playoffs right now.
Jacksonville's in?
Yeah, Jacksonville's leading that division. They're 9-4. I know they're having the quietest 9-4 ever. I understand. I don't blame you for not knowing because they're having the quietest 9-4 ever.
When I just saw it, I'm like, wow.
Denver is. I don't care. Maybe I'm tripping, bro, but I know what I see. It's the same shit as last year. They're going to be a first round exit, bro. And maybe they get to the divisional round, but they're not going to the AFC Championship. And if they do, they're not going to the Super Bowl. I know I keep pushing the goalposts, but it's like I just don't see them beating no team. They're not better than the Patriots. They're not better than the Bills. John, I get you taking them over the Ravens. I disagree. You get the Ravens in the playoffs, they're going to get their shit together to at least beat Denver. Like at least beat
Baltimore. Denver. Lamar in the playoffs never gets his shit together. He always loses in the playoffs.
Bro,
but Lamar gets further in the playoffs. Like he's losing in the AFC Championship further or the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
not no first round wild card team.
Yeah, but that whole Lamar in the playoffs is going to be the one instance if we're saying, oh, is Lamar? Let's say the conversation is Lamar a top 10 quarterback. Statistics wise, you could say maybe 2-time MVP. Once he gets to the playoffs, he turns into Dak Prescott.
Hey, this comment is very fucking true. The game was over at 3:40, Bobby.
It was.
It was 3:40. The game was fucking over. The Minnesota had the ball like damn near the whole fourth quarter. Yeah, just running clock. We couldn't stop shit.
3:40. That's why I say if there was ever a game where it was like, damn, I don't want to miss it, but I got to. You missed the perfect game.
We was getting them motherfuckers 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20s, and they was getting first fucking down.
Bro, like my plan was to go back and watch it. But then when I looked at the box score and said it was 31-0, I said, "Oh hell no, I'm not watching that shit."
Bro, fastest game.
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I'm not on that."
JJ McCarthy looked like the next coming of Steve Young.
Man. Yeah, and it's not like he even targeted Jay Jettas like that either. He spread the ball out.
Contrary to popular belief, we actually shut down Justin Jefferson. Bullshit, obviously, but he didn't even.
2 for 11.
But to answer
so JJ McCarthy was out there hooping on us. That's crazy.
16 of 23, 163. He threw for only 160 yards and 3 touchdowns and put 31 on our heads.
But yeah, to answer that comment, that every team to a degree needs a perfect storm to be successful. Because y'all were only able to name 2 teams that are currently in the playoffs that does not have a perfect situation. And mind you, you named 2 of the best coaches and built teams that are doing it. So it ain't a team like Washington that's in their second year of a recalibration rebuild. You're talking about the 49ers who are almost 10 years, and you're talking about Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane. Those got their almost 10 years in together. They have Josh Allen as their quarterback. Come on. But so what's the excuse? What was the excuse in the Green Bay game? Had all this people. That's week 2. Noah Brown went down with that's a good team too, by the way.
So what is so Asia's saying she wants Kliff out of there? He got to go.
Asia all the way.
Yeah,
Kliff the fuck out of here.
Anti-Kliff propaganda.
She in the comments on the IG page in the our DMs going on Kliff.
If you don't get Mr. G and Q out of Washington.
One thing about Miss Carter right here, she's been consistent about Kliff.
Yeah.
I will say she's been saying it all year long. She ain't on this. She ain't like other fans that are now turning on Kliff. She's always.
I say we gotta give him at least one more year.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like because at the end of the day, he's gonna be gone regardless next year. Whether he's good, he's gonna get a head coach job. If he's bad, he's gone. But like again. She said the Green Bay game. I ain't gonna lie, Asia, you might got me right there on, but this my refute back. It was week 2. It was a short week. We know Kliff and Jayden are guys that need preparation. They don't do well on short weeks. Green Bay is damn good. 5 end up getting hurt. Noah Brown ended up getting hurt. Austin Eckler ended up getting hurt.
Dietrich Wise.
You know how much they love running their offense through Austin Eckler. If Austin Eckler never got hurt, we probably would have never seen Bill. So that probably altered this game plan a lot. Not trying to make excuses for him. But I'm just saying that there are reasons you can go back to his games and say why they weren't good. But hey, look, to everybody that want him gone, who are realistic options? Y'all say Mike McDaniel, like he's going to get fired. He's not getting fired. And if he does, okay, that becomes a realistic option. But who else? You say poach from the Sean McVay tree. You say this, that, got about Kyle Shanahan's tree. Okay. But think about, and I'm not saying this is an excuse for NFL players because I get it. NFL players has to learn how to adjust year to year. But think about all the people that are already concerned about Jay in year 2. He fell off, sophomore slump this, sophomore slump that. Now you're adding a new whole offensive system to his playbook, to his mental and everything. Yeah. And I think he can handle it. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think he can handle it. But like, I don't know. I just say give him one more year, man. And if it's the same thing like it was this year, then he can go. You know.
Yeah. But then Jayden will be in year 4.
Okay.
Already.
I mean, look, it's ball. Like Reedie said, it happens. You know what I'm saying? Every year, it ain't gonna be perfect, and I think we're in the best possible situation that for a horrible season again. We're about to have a top 5 pick. Like this is about to be. I wouldn't be surprised if next year we're in a Super Bowl. I'm only saying that. Hey, what a soundboard at? I'm only saying that because hey, look what Cincinnati did. They got that 5th pick, drafted Jamar Chase following year in the bowl, man. So look, if you telling me we had to suffer through this year to get a potential guy like that? I'm all for it. Get rid of DQ.
I beg your pardon.
Ron Rivera. Dan Quinn has took us to the NFC Championship. We have not been there in all majority of our lifetimes that are in here. The last time he was in the NFC Championship, Joe Gibbs was the head coach.
Yeah.
How is he worse than Ron Rivera? Like, what are we talking about?
Right. If you want the overall cliff notes on what the Ron Rivera era was in Washington,
we can be eliminated.
That's all you need.
The more I see that clip, I feel like he was gonna add.
I was watching that shit live, bro. Live. I immediately went to Instagram like, yo, what the fuck did he just say? He really didn't know. That shit was crazy, bro.
Y'all think so? I feel like he was
He didn't know. He really didn't know.
Look. If I run it back, you gotta look at his facial expression because he was so shocked. Just hold on. Just
We can be limited.
Yeah,
The
you remember the
Vikings
still photo of when he was like
that Cleveland game pissed me off because had Taylor Heineke started like he should have, we would have won that game.
Oh my god,
we would have won that game.
That Cleveland game was. I was pissed.
Juan sounds like he's on Kliff's payroll. I'm not. I already told y'all why I don't want to break it up. I'm big on continuity and consistency, something that we haven't had in years, and everybody claims that's what they want. And if you're going to hold them accountable for this 1 year that where everything fell apart, then I guess cool. But I'm not gonna hold something against somebody where it's like a lot of the things that went wrong is out of their control. I get y'all say that it shouldn't be much switched up because with injuries it still be able to be the same. Easy for us to say we're watching, but it's not easy to know what these guys comprehend throughout the week. The same plays that he run from Mariota, you know what I'm saying, may not be. And I get we say it's the same things because they have the same skill set, but maybe some things that Mariota likes that he can't run with 5 or vice versa. So it's easy on the outside looking in to say Kliff got to be better. He should be able to just pick up the pieces. But do we really know that to be true? Because we're not in these meetings. You know, we're not in the film study. We're not under. Maybe sometimes they don't get it, and Kliff realizes, yeah, he don't understand. So we ain't gonna put that in the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to make excuses for him, chat. I understand he's not been perfect, and if he's gone this year, okay. I'm kind of there too. Like if he's gone, okay. But I would prefer to keep him for at least this final year because I think regardless of the fact he's gonna be gone next year, anyways. Yeah. Who cares if we went to the NC Championship, bro? That was Jayden Daniels carrying a dog shit defense. So because of that, you want to waste his rookie contract, bro? He has 5 years of a potential rookie contract.
Well, and that fifth year gonna have some money on it.
He might get paid out the next year. Still, y'all, if you think after this year that they have soured on Jayden Daniels, you're sadly mistaken. If he goes out there next year and has an MVP-esque kind of year or get back to who we think he is, he could be paid still after next year. So you don't.
But that 5th year option is more than the rookie deal was at now. So it's you probably talking like $20 million.
I don't think they. I was only saying that because I was trying to make it to the point to John, like we're not wasting his rookie contract because we still have years to use him. But after that, worst case, after his 4th year, he's getting paid if he's the guy.
Yeah.
Which I have no doubt in my mind he is. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, John, I get what you're saying. You're telling me so Jayden carried this team last year. We're not slighting that in the lightest. And we're not denying that in the lightest. We get that. I think even if Jayden doesn't get hurt this year, we're still in it right now. You know what I'm saying? Even probably better because look how the division is. The division sucks right now. But my thing to you is, okay, did you have this same kind of energy for Ron Rivera after 2 years? Did you have the same kind of energy for Mike Shanahan or Jay Gruden after 2 years? Mike Shanahan after 2 years? It's like, I get you're upset in the moment, man, but like, how do we expect things to actually plan out and actually evolve if after every 2 years we're moving on from coaches, we're moving on from coordinators, we're moving on from quarterbacks? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I don't care.
That's why I say if you do keep him, like he really needs to fix some shit because it's a problem. I think the offense is more of a problem than a positive. Period. And I mean, I get the stats and all that other shit, y'all, that's hiding the deficiencies. But last year we saw a rookie quarterback come in here and excel, have the greatest rookie season ever, and excel and made everybody look great. And this year we saw something totally different. And again, like it's not even just about the injuries; it's literally about what you're seeing being schemed up in these situations, and that shit is all questionable. Period. So it's like I'm kind of with John in the sense like if you're gonna get rid of him, fuck it, do it now, because then you got year 3, year 4, the quote unquote rookie deal, because year 5 is a kick in. Yeah, it's still overall rookie deal, but it's still gonna be some money kicked in. And quite frankly, Jayden probably gets a contract after next year, but that still wouldn't kick in until like the end of year 5, year 6 anyway. So you know what I mean? It's the big contract now is going to be a little wild, but still at the end of the day, Like, why waste time? What Terry signed? A 3-year deal? 3-year deal?
So I want to remember 3 year.
3-year deal?
2
Well, that
years.
last year is kind of like a void, so it's more like a 2-year.
Yeah, two. Like, call it 2.5 because they'll have
So
incentives.
you got to include that in your window as well. Like some of the other guys we got, the Tonsils, and how long Tonsil gonna be around? Who gonna replace him?
He about to get
You
a
know what I mean?
contract.
He gonna get a contract, but it ain't gonna be no 5 years. He on the oldest side of it. Well, tackles last longer in the league, so maybe he probably
If he
plays
stays healthy.
till he's 38 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You never know.
I give him a good 2-3 more years at peak.
Trent Williams though, is Trent Williams? Is Trent Williams just like a just not? Is he just like an outlier? Like that's
anonymously.
Just
Trent, he's
that's
a freaking nature.
Trent like that.
Laramie's been keeping it quiet though, man. Like he
is.
He's came in and did. Everyone wants to cry about these picks we giving up, but I mean, what is he 1 for 2 or 1 for 3? Because the Sean trade didn't work out. People were already soured on the Debo acquire. You know what I'm saying?
I would go 2 for 3.
Who are you giving them the plus for the Debo signing? Or
I give him the plus for the Debo because it was a 5th round pick. If we'd given him a 3rd, I would have gone. All right, I'll give you 1/2. We gave up a 5th round pick. In all honesty, that one didn't bother me. The fact that we gave up a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th for the Marshawn thing, that's what really hurt us. In all honesty, because we could have gotten talent last year in the 3rd round.
He is gone.
Yeah, the Saints got one.
The Saints got.
Who's to say he's here long term? No guarantees. They talking about Laramie age. I think Laramie stays. I think he kind of expressed that without expressing that in his introductory interview.
Yeah, he seems happy to be here, but also the fact that he's not like the full blown locker room leader. There's already other guys that were here beforehand that have that responsibility.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that I think a lot of fans are kind of overlooking, and they just would assume from the record is Sam Cosmi already put it to bed. Like this, Dan Quinn has not lost his locker room. I didn't listen to the quote, but I saw the quote. He said Dan Quinn has not lost his locker room. He said, I was here in 23, where he's alluding to like the locker room being lost. You know what I'm saying? He
said that?
Sam Cosmi.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that's why I hope fans just truly understand. Like this was just an unlucky, unfortunate year. What the hell did we do? That's what I want to know. I want somebody to let us know what did we do to deserve this. That's what I want to know. like it just continues. Zach Ertz tears his ACL. He's probably done for his career.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like what everyone wants to complain about Dan Quinn, Kliff Kingsbury, and the lack of I really want to complain about the biggest. What did we do?
Washington became good too fast. Football guys said, no. This is too early for y'all or something.
Like, did Chicago put a spell on us? Like,
Williams put a little zest after the loss.
And I don't want to give Chicago too much credit because again, I think they're going to hit that. They're the AFC version, the NFC version of Denver to me, and at least when it comes to the playoffs right now, I think Ben Johnson is much more wiser than Sean Payton at this point, and I think he can get more out of Caleb Williams than Sean can get out of Bo Nix, just because I think Caleb Williams is more talented. But they're not like us. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, we got hot around this time. We didn't lose a game around this time headed into the playoffs, right? They lost the game last week versus the Packers, and I could see them losing a couple more. And I do think they probably end up making the playoffs, but it's no guarantee. Now think about it, because I think Detroit's going to get hot. They're 8-5, Chicago's 9-4, and Green Bay's 9-3. Unless you're telling me the NFC North sends three teams to the playoffs, which I doubt. They got Cleveland this week. Shador is obviously on fire, and Kevin Stefanski. It gotta be a race move. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like that. It has to be. He for whatever reason he hates Shador, which I don't like.
I agree. He has something against him. I don't.
Named him the starter though, right?
Because he had to.
Yeah, he had to. It's how he's moving. not giving them first team reps in practice. He literally carries you in that game, and on the biggest play of the game, you take him off the field for the 2-point conversion. And they say they were having success doing the Wildcat with Quinshon Judkins throughout the year. That's true, but you didn't even run the typical Wildcat run. You ran a trick play. So he hates Shedeur for that reason. That if Cleveland is smart, they would fire his ass at the end of the year.
But I thought he was the reason that I thought Dion had like a relationship with him, and he was the reason that Shedeur's even there.
No,
was it somebody in the front office?
It's Andrew Burry. They general.
Okay, all right.
Andrew Burry is like I hate to bring. I don't like being political or race into it, but Andrew Burry's a brother.
Yes,
you can put that correlation like how it is. But to Chicago, not to just drag on Chicago any longer, but like they very well could miss the playoffs. I'm not trying to hate because I think again I want to know what did we do to deserve the year that we're having, and maybe Chicago's.
I hope they do. I hope.
RZ, you're gonna like this then. There's a strong possibility Chicago finished the season on a losing streak. They lost to Green Bay on Sunday. Cleveland. They played Cleveland. I think with that defense.
Yeah, that defense is crazy.
Myles Garrett about to break the record. Then after that, they got Green Bay again, but this time it's at Soldier Field. That game probably will be for a wild card spot at worst.
Mm-hmm. That week 16 will be on prime time too.
Yeah,
Saturday night.
Then they have the 49ers, and then they finish the season with Detroit. So there's no guarantee for all the good that Chicago did, for the potential spell that they fan base put on us or whatever may have you. They could have done all that shit and not even going anywhere. Food for thought. Food for thought.
Go with 10-7, miss the playoffs.
I
don't even know if they win one more game.
They only won 8 games right now, right?
9. It's a strong possibility that they lose the rest of their games. Probably beat Cleveland, but that defense, man. And if Shedeur just mixing up, and they can run the hell out the ball too, man. Quinshon Judkins, man, is as advertised. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel was his guy, but Dylan Gabriel's ass.
Yeah.
But I guess to finish off the show, we can talk about what I think we talked about everything, right?
We did that. But like let's talk about Jayden. So I want to pose a question because we was talking about it. I think we was talking about it a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something like that. Like, can we be honest that like when Jayden has been on the field, he's struggled? Like, can we just be honest? Like, Jayden is still him. Jayden is still our franchise quarterback. He's still all those things we believe he is. But can we simply be honest that he struggled?
I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah.
To an extent to where I'll pose it this way. We're judging him based off the games he started and finished.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, I would say started.
Okay, started.
So
he started the Giants game. Cool. Week 1, he was cool. He made enough plays.
About 230 yards or some shit like that. Yeah.
Cool. He played in the Packers game. Saw a ghost. Was not good. Nobody was good that night. Right? But he got hurt. So then he misses the Raiders, the Falcons. He's back week 5.
For the Chargers.
Looks amazing. Looks like the Jayden that we known and love. Week 6 versus Chicago, elements was against them, blah, 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 but minus the fumble that cost us the game, and I know you can't take that away. But he made some plays for us to win again. The Chris Moore touchdown, the Luke McCaffrey touchdown. Come on, Z, hold on. Back to Kliff for a sec. Come on. Kliff drew that. You telling me Luke McCaffrey just butt open for that touchdown? No. Kliff drew that up.
That was the one play all year. That play happened right in front of me. I loved it.
So, yeah, he cost us the game because he dropped the ball. Shit happens. He played good enough for us to win in that game, though. Let's just call it what it is.
Good enough.
Week 7, before the injury, We was in that game, took us right down the field to score.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. We
Yep.
did this exercise earlier, but we're talking more only. We're talking this time. We're talking strictly Jayden's performances, not nobody else. Played well enough for us to win in that game up until the injury. And again, I think coming out of halftime, if he doesn't get injured, what he got hurt at midfield. So we was driving
Mhm.
that drive.
What was the injury that game?
Hamstring.
Hamstring. That was the hammy.
Well, I'm trying to remember the play he got hurt on.
So it was a sack. And
I didn't know. Yeah, I was wondering how the hell that was a hamstring. It didn't look like it'd be a play where you can hurt his hamstring. I got you. Okay, I remember that.
So he played solid enough in that game. Got hurt. So he misses week 8 versus Kansas City. He misses. He came back week 9 versus Seattle. Nobody played good in that game, but he was the only one that showed up though. Let's call it what it is. He's the only one that showed up in that game versus Seattle, and he's quite frankly the reason why he got hurt is because he was the only one that was trying to make a play. He's the only one. So in that game,
he's not reading defenses the same one.
I mean,
last year that shit was 1-2.
But
we saw shit like, oh my god, this dude is just like amazing. Yeah. Like nothing went wrong. Mm-hmm. Where it's like this year, it's just like it's a hesitation. It's a overthink. Like you even hear the commentators talk about like, damn, Jayden could have let the ball go. He's holding the ball too long. It's been all of that though. Yeah. Even still in the games that you're saying he played good enough in, like he just isn't last year Jayden this year.
So
for whatever reason.
So my question to you would be, or my question would be to you,
shit was like this.
Is a lot of that
water.
This being like that last year was a lot of that because of Jayden only, or was it Kliff?
Fuck no, it wasn't Kliff. What the fuck?
It wasn't
Kliff.
That's why I said when Reedie was in here, y'all have flipped on Kliff Kingsbury. And I'm not by any means saying Kliff has been perfect, but remember what the narrative was. Remember, Taylor Britton from Cincinnati said it. Oh, it's a college offense. They get the ball out of his hands quickly. He doesn't have to do much. And we were winning games like that. We were killing teams like that. So, yes, I know 5, and this is not me saying 5 is not good. I know how people like to spin stuff. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but I'm just answering Z's question about why he doesn't look the same. He was getting the ball out of his hands quickly. My assumption or my true theory to that is, for one, he's missing a lot of games. He hasn't had constant practice time with these players. If he's back, Terry's out. If Terry's, Terry's back, correct. He's out. You know what I'm saying? So it hasn't been confidence in terms of, like we said, Jayden is a guy that is key on preparation. He has to practice. He's big on preparing. Why is he the first one in the facility? Because he needs the preparation. When he has to just be thrown out there, he doesn't perform his best. Same with,
but Kliff. He ain't really been thrown out there though, Juan. They're going weeks before he's be ready, and they give him like a whole nother week to prepare. Like they've given him that time to be ready. So it's like I hear you, and I know it's more than just timing and reps. That's why I was on the side like Jayden needs the reps. Mm-hmm. Play him. He needs the reps.
But
I get the whole gift wrap, bubble wrap to try to not make him be injured. I get all that, but if you just looking at the execution, mm-hmm. it has regressed. And whether that's timing, whether that's Terry not being at camp, whether it's all those many things, that's all feeds to more reasons why he just needs the reps. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, like it's again, like I said, I started off by saying like he's still him, but he did take a regress back before he even. I mean, yeah, he got injured week 2, but that fucking Green Bay game, I saw it and I was just like, I think it got a little hidden in the Giants game. Mm. It was a little hidden because we ran the ball well and all those other things. So like, because even the offense struggled moving the ball against them week 1.
Yeah, let me ask you this though. Just try to remember if you can go back to Jayden coming. I mean, well, this is more for John because John's more of a college fan. Asia and everybody in chat that can probably think back to this time. Was Jayden really looked at as a quarterback that could truly decipher defenses? Like when you think of Joe Burrow, coming out of college, That was one of his strengths, being able to just pick apart defenses.
Yeah, they was trying to say he couldn't read defenses. I remember that.
So is that then if that's the case, are we truly surprised that when again, I know y'all hate giving Kliff credit for what he did, but is it a true surprise that now film is out on him? Kliff can't truly protect him, or let's just put it in y'all in what y'all are saying.
No. You're
Kliff
leading
isn't
right to
calling
what I
well.
want to say. You're leading
know?
right to what I
Go
want
ahead,
to
go
say.
ahead, then. Go ahead.
The film is out on Kliff's offense, and Kliff don't know how to switch that shit up, and he's running the same shit he ran last year. Screens galore. Every time we run a screen, teams know it's coming. Every fucking time they caught the interception, the Vikings caught the interception because he know we throw the screen. We're gonna throw it to the weak side. He knew that shit. He knew it was coming. I think was it the Kansas City game when Debo dropped the joint?
Yeah,
that was another screen when that happened. Like defenses be all over this shit. All over us. They know what's about to come, bro.
What offense in this league right now is just truly unstoppable week in a week?
I ain't saying it gotta be unstoppable, one. I'm just saying you gotta be able to. People just know exactly what we're doing. Like it was one of them games this year. They was like, we knew exactly what they was going to do. They lined up and did the shit the same way.
That was I just saw that quote too.
It might have been Green Bay. They was like one of them games. They was like, we knew what they were going to do.
It was Dak. It was Dak. Dak said, if you're talking about, are you talking about? No. That Dak said that about our defense. Never mind.
Somebody was talking about our offense. Like this shit was it's so basic. Like Kliff didn't do anything this year to evolve the offense. Year to year, you have to evolve.
Okay. Yeah, I get you. I see what you're saying now.
So that's why I'm saying overall, like, I don't know. Like again, I'm not totally against Kliff. Like when we got him, I was happy. I liked Kliff when he was with Arizona. You know what I mean? I felt like he was a good enough coach. I was excited when we got him. Last year, a lot of the talks that I'm saying now, I was defending. I was doing what you was doing. I was like, nah, man, give Kliff some time. Nah, man, Kliff be cooking. Kliff like that. And it's like this year, I'm really starting to see this shit. Like, this dude has some deficiencies, and he just don't. You can tell in his play calling, his operation, that he's stubborn as fuck.
Oh, like yeah, sure. That's why we know he don't
adjust to the game. Like, run the fucking ball.
So, long story short, it's fair to just say teams adjusted, Kliff and Jayden didn't.
Teams adjusted, Kliff didn't evolve, and Jayden regressed. All in one. And Dan let sit there and watch the shit happen and ain't say nothing.
I hope the one positive that comes from this situation is that Dan now, and I think he will, he's not Ron Rivera or Jay that's just going to sit on their hand. He realized he waited too late for a lot of things this year. Next year, he's going to be on the opposite of that.
Yeah,
so he's going to take control of the defense, I assume. But if not, he's going to be quick to not. If he doesn't take the defensive play calling from him, he's going to be involved early.
But then that's what blows me. Jayden getting hurt give Kliff an excuse, because then Mariota goes out there and runs the offense a little bit better, and it makes it like the offense is fine. Like, no, this offense wasn't built for fucking Mariota. It was built for Jayden. So it's like, okay, you know what I mean? It's no real evaluation. So Kliff might not be on the hot seat in Dan Quinn's eyes. You know what I mean? So it's just like, ugh.
Okay. I feel you. I get it.
I understand.
I hate, and I have to just accept it. It is what it is. But y'all know how we all feel about 5. We're very sensitive with 5. At least I am. I hate that I have to accept the fact that he regressed, but I just guess I have to just accept it, because I sit up here and I'm trying to just kind of make excuses for why I don't think he regressed fully. But I guess it is true. I guess it is. I just hate that, like, how many games has he missed? Or like, if we're talking like he
7 or some shit, like, right?
He started and finished only like 3 games. If we're talking about
3 or 4,
he started and got hurt and missed. Combine that number and then the numbers of games he started and finished. It's like, The only person that I'm seeing do that is Joe Burrow, and that he's just different. Like Joe Burrow is clockwork for Joe B. You know, and yes, you can say he regressed, but in the short time that we have seen Jayden play, you see the flashes of 24 in there. It's just like every single time that he's trying to get going, something happens.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, correct.
So-
I get that too, but that's when kind of coaching kind of kicks in, and it's like do something different.
Mhm.
Like your playbook isn't just 20 plays, Kliff. Like shit, we might see 10 different plays per game if you really evaluating this offense this year. Like just think like passing plays, run plays, and we not counting, but passing plays, we like see like literally like 10 plays tops. He ain't dialing shit up. Like we ain't seeing no. How often are we running comebacks? How often again? Like it's 3rd and 2, and you throw a slant to Jayden Lane, and you got Terry McLaurin on the fucking field. Why? Situational shit. Like as a coach, you got to be able to tell your quarterback, go to the star guy. If Jayden is comfortable throwing the ball to fucking Jayden Lane on that situation, that's because the coach not in his ear enough about what to do in certain situations. I get it. You can do it, as a quarterback, you're not going like hound him. I mean, as a coach, you're not going to hound the quarterback too much. You let him live and let him do his thing. But like Jayden should fucking know in these situations, look there first.
So that's on 5. He loves Noah Brown more than Terry for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Why is Noah Brown even on this fucking roster? He's a waste.
I don't know why. But that's my. I don't know why.
I said the other day when he came back from injury, he should have been fucking released. Waive him. Let him go somewhere else. What he serve us? He's stunting the growth, like we talked earlier. Treylon Burks. Like we trying to evaluate and see what the fuck we got. You bringing this motherfucker back on the field for what?
So that goes to y'all point about us having the wrong OC then, because John is with you. He say he hates how you use Terry, but listen, we've been having these same complaints since Scott Turner. Scott Turner does the same thing Kliff does. He does not get Terry McLaurin involved. I think Kliff does a better job than Scott because, I mean, Kliff, no, it's not really that much better in terms of this because there's been times where Terry has went catchless and targetless under Kliff's regime too.
Even last year, correct.
Yeah, it was more of a consistency thing with Scott Turner of, damn, Terry ain't have a catch or target this whole first half. So maybe it's just that Kliff isn't, that we just have been picking our bad offensive coordinators because we didn't have this issue with Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden was getting him the ball that 2019 year. That's how we found out about Terry. Terry was a special teams guy. And we found out about how good Terry was because Kliff and because Kevin O'Connell. God damn, I hate Ron Rivera for that. He's so stubborn. Kevin O'Connell should have been our offensive coordinator 2020. And he was the only guy I've ever seen make our rest his soul. He's the only guy I ever seen get Dwayne play good. Kevin O'Connell. And Ron got him out of here because he didn't want him stepping on his toe. Anyways, so we've had this same lack of getting Terry involved, lack of using Terry, even before Kliff arrived. So maybe we're just picking the wrong offensive coordinators, but because it's like, but Josh said he doesn't run comebacks. I could be wrong, but I feel like that one play he slipped on when he caught the peak, he slipped, but he caught the ball on Patrick Surtain. I felt like that was a comeback, but he failed. But I get it. Kliff has struggled. I'm just all about keeping the band together at least 1 year. I'm not going to allow this 1 year to just make me feel like we got to blow it up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's just where I'm at. But I get what you, Asia, John. I get where everybody's saying. I'm not trying to say he's perfect, but I don't know. I don't get like right now in this very moment who we get to fulfill him,
Yeah, no, I feel you on that, but it's just like I wanted to poll that Jayden question though, because a lot of fans act like you can't evaluate Jayden. Like you just going like Jayden just walks out and he's God. Like nah. Jayden fucks up too.
Yeah. If you want to make the joke saying he walks out and he's God, that's Drake made this season. If you want to make that joke.
I have a tough time. I have a tough time.
It's cool. I've been there, but it's like you gotta tell the truth.
I get it. I get it. I'm just sensitive when it comes to him because it's like I'm not gonna lie. I hold him accountable. I'm sensitive about him because of the comparison that people continue to make to RG3. That's what pisses me off.
That shit pisses me off because
It's ridiculous.
fuck RG3.
Again, I hate being political or racist or bring race into it, but I literally think they only do it because he's black and he can run. I said if he was white and he was a pocket passer but had the same injuries, hamstring, elbow, and what's the other one? What's the other one he had this year?
Knee.
Would y'all be saying, "Oh, this RG3 2.0 all over again"? No,
they'd be saying Stiesman all over again.
probably, but like, come on, like he has not had thank God has not had a detrimental injury. He's been banged up, yes, but none of them has been to the extent of a RG3 and RG3 and Z. You could speak to it. I mean, I could truly speak to it. I watched every game from 2012. I was here. I witnessed it, but like I'm not who I am now, where I can actually understand bullshit. My fault. I was just RG3 running around. Hell yeah, Santana Mo, let's go. Like I swear, but now I understand, bro. So maybe you can speak to it better than me, Z. But like RG3 ain't half of what 5 is when it comes from
fuck no, like
when it comes to maybe running pure runner like track, like okay, straight line speed maybe, but like I said
it last year, Jayden already better than anything RG3 did for us.
Maybe arm strength, maybe that's a stretch, but maybe arm
that's a stretch.
It's a stretch.
That's a stretch. Jayden got an arm. Jayden got way more accuracy. Jayden is a true dual threat. RG3 really had to have a basic fucking read option type fucking offense to one read, like literally 1-2 reads. That was it. Mike Shanahan used to talk about that. Like they had to really dumb the offense down, or like really create the entire scheme around him, and they succeeded. So shout out to the Shanahans for being, gurus at this shit. But like, 5 is way more dynamic. Than,
he was a track star. And the only reason I said maybe on strength is because again, I do remember every game from that year. I still remember where I was at. But week 1 versus the Saints, Altrick Robinson play action. Ooh, that's a ball right there. I can't lie. That was a ball.
Yeah.
Oh, that play action post was pretty. He threw that pass many a times. Especially even against Dallas, Altrick Robinson, because the same fucking play took that shit to the bean. So but other than that,
he runs circle around RG3. That's why I just hate when people continue to. But let alone with it being race and being Washington and all, people just don't. They don't watch football.
They don't, because then they be like, "Well, RG3 did it first. Okay, he's older than him. The fuck."
I would hope he did it first.
Yeah, who cares? That don't mean he can't be better.
No.
Yeah.
It's to the point though when I be like, bro, like I be in different places and I just be hearing people talk, and I just act like I don't even join the conversation. I act like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I just let them say shit.
You do that. You do that.
Yeah,
too.
it's just like, cause I be wondering like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, because I'm with you. I'm right there. Because again, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like we're experts, right? We're not experts, but everybody isn't as deep into it as we are. So I'm right there with you, Z. I hear somebody say something about Jayden or this or that, and in my mind, I'd be ready to go back and forth. But you know what I just say? I'd be like, yeah, you right. Yeah, nah, for real. I just agree with him. I just agree with him because I'm like, if they not gonna understand. We missing this tackle, this practice squad play. I don't want to go into that because you're not gonna understand. You're not gonna go back and forth. You know what I mean? So I just be like, yeah, you right. Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like that's probably everybody in this chat though. Everybody in this chat is probably like that. Like, you don't get it.
Ain't no point in me wasting my time.
Nope.
Yeah.
John, we got anything else?
But yeah, other than that, let's tell us about more. What you
heard, fam? Because I was letting y'all do y'all's. I think I was getting quiet, so I started getting more info. So he first gets fired earlier today, right? He gets detained.
We'll remind everyone what you're talking about.
So we're talking about former Michigan Wolverines head coach Sherrone Moore, who took over from Jim Harbaugh, and that's a whole nother statistic. So he was fired earlier today. well timed because of the whole National Sign Day. He was fired from Michigan due to an inappropriate relationship with a staff member who was turned out to be a member of his staff, meaning athletics. Well, and then he's detained before we got on. And more news has apparently come out is the reason why he was detained is he was attempting and did break into said house of said staffer he was having the affair with, threatened to himself and her. Only reason why the police found him is because allegedly his wife provided his phone's location. So
hey, hold on. Back, can you restart? I'm sorry, Chad. I zoned out because I'm at a loss. Okay.
Yeah.
So restart.
So he was fired today for an inappropriate relationship with a staffer who was then on his staff. Mind you, he's 30 years old. She is probably younger one than you and I. She's probably 19, 20. So we're talking a 10, 12 year age.
Yeah, that's what I said, Brad.
Mhm.
He's only 30.
A young wop. Put that wop on him.
He's only 30.
He's not that old. And Dr. Umar would be upset because she's also blonde and Caucasian. So Dr. Umar upset too. So that he was later detained, and more news has come out.
You had to know that too. Yeah.
Yeah. That the reason he was detained is that he broke into the house of said staffer he was having the affair with and threatened to himself and her. And allegedly she's also pregnant.
Oh yeah, no, he wild. He 39 and he 39 and she is younger than me.
So he threatened her because he want to keep it.
There's alleged text going out that there was a forced abortion and everything. I'm gonna let those texts breathe until there's more news out.
Yeah.
But the only apparently he held a knife to said throat on both of them. And the only reason why they found him was apparently at a local church after his wife, Smart, gave the police his phone's location. He is now in protective custody for obvious reasons. But we will never see this man probably touch a sports again or be allowed on a college campus.
These dudes they don't know how to handle themselves, man. Like, oh my God. Bro.
Can I get the opportunity to coach Michigan Wolverine football? Like what? That is the generational blow of a bag. And John, you more into college than me, but when I hear these college contracts and buyouts, it's way more than these NFL coaches are getting. So
I've said it for weeks. The greatest job in the world is a fired Power 4 head coach because you're getting paid, as my man The Rock would say, millions and millions every single year for the next 7-8 years. That's why James Franklin is making pennies on the dollar at VTech because he's getting like $80 million from between now and 2031. Same thing with Brian Kelly. And we'll see if Kalen DeBoer is fired from Bama after the college football playoffs because he could go to Michigan or go to LSU. I can see like there is a whole thing, but it is rough. What did I just say? Yeah, no offense whatsoever. I was trying to keep things, nice and easy. But no, it's ridiculous right now. I don't have real remorse at all. I have remorse for the wife and kids because remember last year the whole Coldplay concert.
No, enlighten me.
So there was like a CEO who was caught in 4K on a stage that Coldplay was playing with one of his said subordinates.
Yeah, he was booed up in a box. It was just like them in a club level, and they standing at the front,
like Titanic,
booed up like that, and the camera went and scanned and put it right on them.
And they both resigned from said job. You see, this is almost to the week. This is almost to the week that happened.
Bruh, this is crazy. These dudes
handle themselves. Okay. So basically, Sharon Moore, he been playing in the snow. No offense, John, but his wife is talking. So
yeah. So he was snoring a little bit. He was snoring some
and she didn't gave his location to the feds.
But she's smart though.
She said, "Oh God," she said, "Look, you go have a film me, you're gone."
Yeah, but think about it. The wife now probably gonna get money from him and the school.
That's generational bag blown.
Fam.
Just can't control themselves, man.
10 years from now,
that's another one of the reasons. That's why they say don't go get no strains, man. A strain's gonna put you in a different place.
Yeah.
Some people can't control themselves, man.
That's what it is. She put it on him. He lost.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
they belong to the streets.
Talking about a baby. Come on, man. He left it in.
So basically, long story short, he had a baby on her. And he didn't want her to have a baby because for multiple reasons. He's on her staff, and his wife probably.
Who he is? Yeah, like a young tender.
Yeah.
That's why you don't put yourselves in them.
What they say, tenderism? Damn, bro, you fucked that money up.
Put himself in that situation to begin with. You got a nice family at home. You got in the words of John, the best freaking job on planet Earth, and you ruining that for a little affair. Come on, dog.
Yeah. What's crazy is the timing, because I was scrolling through Twitter, y'all were talking. Between Thursday and Sunday was National Signing Day for all recruits. So they waited until after they got everything solidified and signed. They'd be like, "Yeah, we've been known. We've been known about this. We just want to get our recruits."
That was smart on their part.
And they still have a bowl game coming up against Texas.
Well, that don't matter in this day and age. They can hit the portal after this year. Right?
I mean, yeah, but at least they got them for a year.
Yeah. Well, it's National Signing Day in terms of high school recruits. Their first commit at this rate. Because was it Chris? Not Chris Don. Chris something finally committed to Ohio State.
Oh, Chris Henry Jr.
Thank you, Chris Henry Jr.
Man, Ohio State's a factory, bro. They're gonna have stars, bro.
They will, but like shout out to Brian Hartline for getting that head coaching job at USF. He's about to turn some guys into dogs.
Jeremiah Smith breaking news is about to follow him there. Saying,
could you imagine if that was the next news that came out?
That's gonna be interesting to see how that, because that's a wide receiver tree that goes back to Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel.
Bro, we're talking farther than that. We're talking Ted Ginn. We're talking Michael Thomas. We're talking guys like that.
Wide receiver coach. I mean, they say he could have been took a head coaching job, but just having that resume alone, it's like, man.
I mean, you want to talk about the definition of loyalty? Brian Hartline to Ohio State.
Did he play receiver, or he just was one of them coaches that was?
I think he played receiver in college and in the league for like a hot. He was a Miami Dolphin.
Did he play for the Dolphins? That name sounds.
Yeah,
you said that. Yeah. Let me see if I can remember the number. Number 83. No, I could be wrong. Let me see.
80. Yeah, that sounds about right.
83. Let me see. Let me see if I can just test my ball knowledge right quick. Let me see. 82. Damn, I knew he looked familiar though. He do look. He only 39, so yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was a 4th round draft pick. His NFL statistics: 344 receptions, 4,700 yards, 14 touchdowns. In 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, he got a $5 million or a 5-year contract. He ended 2016. He was released by the Browns. Oh, so he was in the league from 09 to 2015, and he became a graduate assistant at Ohio State in 2017. And then became interim wide receiver coach at Ohio State in 2018. So he's been coaching for almost as long as his NFL career.
Wow.
I mean, good for him. He had 2 1,000-yard seasons in Miami. So, like, do what you gotta do. Ain't mad whatsoever.
Yeah.
Good for him. I've been a fan of Brian Hartline for a while too. So, like, good for him.
Before we get out of here, John, I'll say this. I don't know if 8 is it was gonna be a new start time, but I definitely enjoyed 8.
I'm enjoying 8 o'clock.
I enjoyed it.
Reedie, the football season is over now. This was the last bit of the football, so it might be. They ain't gonna have no night. He's not gonna have night practice. Shit, we might go 7.
Hey,
shoot. I mean, we've just gone to about 2 hours already off the 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Hey. So we'll see.
Hey, we'll see how those rolls.
Anything else, John?
No, I'm gonna go to bed here soon. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. I've pretty much been up since 3 a.m. So now it's time to get up out of here.
That's a bet. Definitely, if you guys have not already, please like, share, subscribe to the Burgundy Breakdown Wash. We are on our road to 200 subscribers.
200.
Yeah. So go over to the channel, sub us up, share it with your peoples. Also follow our individual channels at Reedie and Z, at Ball and Burgundy Podcast, at Juan Gotti Soccer Sports. You know, we gonna bring y'all the collab show every Wednesday, but our individual respective channels, we definitely are dropping videos weekly. I think Juan is like 3 a day at this time.
It feels like it.
Pause.
Oh yeah, pause. Yeah, pause.
I didn't catch it.
Wow.
That's on me. My bad.
Catch it. What did he say, Dad?
I said Juan's 3 a day. He's it feels like it.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
I thought we was gonna make it a clean
I thought
show.
so.
But yeah, check us out. You know what I mean, we're gonna continue to keep bringing y'all this content even through this struggle. We are here. Win, lose, draw. But I'm Z, that's John, that's Juan. We're the Burgundy Breakdown, and we are out.